I've spent a lot of time, Joe, slating everybody in the company.
Biggest pay-per-view event in history, but you want to fight Dustin Prober, who has less followers on Instagram.
You know, so, but he's a donkey. The guy's a donkey, yeah, do you reckon?
Yeah. You're ducking me because you don't want to lose to a fucking YouTuber. You're 0-1 as a boxer.
No. I think Conor McGregor's funny as fuck.
He's hilarious.
Like when I watch him like talk shit about me,
they would put me back in against this guy that has never boxed before. If that's what they would do in boxing.
Jake Paul reacts to UFC Pay disclosure. Oh boy, folks, the world of combat sports never runs out of drama, and Jake Paul is here to stir the pot once again. The problem child has been on a mission to improve UFC fighter pay, and now he's got his sights set on none other.
I've spent a lot of time, Joe, slating everybody in the company.
You think that could be next before the Octagon?
No, it's Octagon. I know, you know, April, they're saying April now. I'm happy with April.
Biggest pay-per-view event in history, but you want to fight Dustin Prober, who has less followers on Instagram
than Conor McGregor. Hold on to your hats, because things are about to get scandalous. You see, the UFC has always been super secretive about how much they pay their fighters, leaving us in the dark about who's swimming in cash and who's just scraping by. But, lo and behold, recent court documents have spilled the beans and revealed the cold hard cash these fighters are raking in. And Jake Paul, well, he's not one to hold back. He takes a look at Conor McGregor's earnings and, in his own words, finds them hilarious and sad. Yeah, you heard that right. Hilarious and sad. That's one heck of a mixed reaction. I mean, it's no secret that Jake Paul's been pushing for better UFC pay for a while now. He's out there fighting for fighters, and now he's got the ammo to back up his claims. With these pay figures laid out on the table, he's pointing at McGregor's earnings and saying, "Look at this, folks." It's a classic case of the big reveal, and Jake Paul isn't holding back his emotions. He's basically saying, hey, the UFC's been keeping these numbers under wraps for way too long.
I would have loved it earlier, but I have to be, you know, if I'm to be honest and be realistic, and for my fans, I want to put in a good run.
You know, so, but he's a donkey. The guy's a donkey, yeah, do you reckon?
yeah, bro, like, yeah. But guess what, Conor? I'll beat the fuck out of you, and you can't box as good as me.
The biggest fight offer you've ever been offered, but you're scared to fight me, Conor.
And now we're all in on the secret. It's like he's unmasking the wizard behind the curtain, and it's a bit hilarious and sad, to be honest. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and watch the drama unfold. Jake Paul's not done yet, and the UFC pay controversy is far from over. What's next in this wild world of combat sports? We can only guess, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be entertaining. McGregor's earnings. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats, because the UFC's best-kept secrets are out in the open, and it's a shocker. The discovery documents have hit the public domain, and boy, they've revealed the uncensored paydays of some of the biggest names in the fight game. We're talking about Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, and more. These documents, they're like Pandora's box, except instead of unleashing chaos, they're exposing the big bucks these fighters have been making. It's like the veil of secrecy has been lifted, and we're getting a front row seat to the financial roller coaster that is the UFC. Now, let's talk about McGregor, the Irish sensation, the charismatic showman.
Conor, you're scared. Dana, you're scared. Sign the fucking contract, you idiots.
Big weather and that'll come and be pepper and I'll be in his face and I was thinking Sunday night, you know, Sunday night.
You know, build myself back and that's it. It's looking like April, mixed martial arts. And hopefully April, they're saying April. So I'm happy. I would have loved in December, I would have loved in earlier, I would have dialed in earlier.
The man with a punch that could stop a freight train. His earnings have been a mystery for far too long, but now the cat's out of the bag. And let me tell you, it's a jaw-dropper. McGregor's earnings, my friends, are not just a few $100,000. No, we're talking about a cool $3 to $6 million per fight. Yeah, that's right, per fight. Suddenly, those fancy suits and the notorious swagger make a lot more sense. But here's where it gets interesting. Enter Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer who's been on a mission to reform fighter pay in the UFC. He's got some strong feelings about McGregor's payday, and he's not holding back. It's a mix of derision and empathy, like he's saying, hey, that's a whole lot of dough, but is it enough for the man who once ruled the MMA world?
You're ducking me because you don't want to lose to a fucking YouTuber. You're 0-1 as a boxer.
At the table together in between His Excellency, and we were kind of chatting and having a little buzz.
So there you have it, folks. The UFC's financial secrets are out, and the fight game will never be the same. Hold tight because the drama is just getting started, and the world of UFC Fighter Pay is in for a serious shakeup. The controversy over UFC Fighter Pay. Folks, you thought you'd seen it all in the world of mixed martial arts, but hold on to your gloves because there's a financial storm brewing in the UFC. It's like the Wild West out there, and the fighters are finally saying enough is enough. First up, let's talk about the big A word, antitrust. UFC is currently facing some serious heat in an ongoing lawsuit that's accusing them.
I've been training. I've been living also, but I've been training. But, you know, April seems like a really good time for me to...
Conor McGregor actually tweeted, he didn't say anything about your performance, but he did insinuate he was watching because he made a comment to...
No. I think Conor McGregor's funny as fuck.
He's hilarious.
Like when I watch him like talk shit about me.
Of being a monopsony. Say what now? Well, a monopsony is like a monopoly, but it's all about the buying power. In other words, it's a company so huge it can twist the market any which way it wants, and that's got the fighters riled up. Now here's where it gets even juicier. The secret documents are out, and they're like Pandora's Box Part 2. They reveal that the UFC pays its stars a meager 18% of its revenue. 18%, folks. That's like finding out your boss is pocketing 82% of your hard-earned cash while you're out there getting punched in the face. Not a pretty picture. And speaking of cash, let's talk about Jake Paul. This YouTuber turned boxer made a boatload of money for his fight against Tommy Fury, and it's got everyone scratching their heads. Comparisons are being drawn between Paul's earnings and those of the UFC's golden boy Conor McGregor. You can't help but wonder, is the system broken? So there you have it, ladies and gents. The UFC is in hot water. The fighters are calling foul.
You said there's 0% chance of this fight happening, but there's 0% chance of you getting some fucking...
After my injury and the height I reached from belts to pay-per-view numbers.
And he's like, oh yeah, the lad, he's a bit windy. He's a bit windy, and he's a fucking donkey.
This, sweetie, what's up? But I'm saying he's obviously watching.
And the financial landscape of MMA is under a microscope. It's a wild, wild world out there, and we're just getting started on this roller coaster of a story. Get your popcorn ready because the drama is far from over. Jake Paul's challenge to McGregor. Ladies and gentlemen, gather round because it's time to talk about the social media showdown of the century. Jake Paul, the YouTube sensation turned boxing sensation, is not one to shy away from controversy. He's throwing some major shade at none other than the UFC's golden boy, Conor McGregor. Hold on to your hats because this feud is spicy. It all started when Jake Paul, with all the subtlety of a bulldozer, decided to comment on McGregor's earnings. Yeah, you heard that right. The man who made a name for himself boxing retired MMA fighters.
Real fighters, people that actually fight, you know what I mean? I certainly don't fight little vanilla, these white rappers. You know, I don't even know the guy. I don't know anything about him.
Where does that fall in the grand scheme of things in your career, having a fight against Conor McGregor?
I don't care about that guy.
Call me and I'll answer. And I'm my own boss. I make my own decisions. I'm not controlled by Dana White. I don't have a dad.
They would put me back in against this guy that has never boxed before. If that's what they would do in boxing.
Had some choice words about Conor's paycheck, and the internet went wild. Fans, oh the fans, they came out in droves to defend their beloved Irishman. McGregor's fan base is a force to be reckoned with, and they were having none of Jake Paul's shenanigans. They rushed to McGregor's defense, and it was like a social media storm. But here's where it gets interesting. Some fans speculated that Jake Paul's comments were more than just a jab at McGregor's earnings. They were an invitation to a fight. The world knows that Jake Paul loves a good spectacle, and he's no stranger to calling out big names. Is he trying to lure McGregor into the ring for a payday of his own? And let's not forget about McGregor's foray into the world of boxing. He took on Floyd Money Mayweather in a high-stakes boxing match, and it was a spectacle for the ages. The question on everyone's lips is, could a McGregor versus Jake Paul fight be in the cards? The drama and the dollar signs are just too enticing to ignore.
It's almost 3 years now. I've been kept from my way of living. So I'm eager to get back, you know.
You're doing an event here in March. Would you be interested in fighting here?
This is what they're saying.
This is not over. If we have to take this outside with him, it's all outside. We don't give a
Conor, drink some milk, bro. Get your bones back. Let's make that fight happen. I want to knock you the out, buddy.
The UFC Pay discrepancy sure as heck sparked a feud of epic proportions. Jake Paul's challenge to McGregor is causing waves, and the fight world is buzzing with anticipation. Is this all just for show, or are we in for a blockbuster showdown? Stay tuned, because the drama is far from over, and we're just getting started. Conor McGregor hints at UFC return. The Irishman, known for his legendary fighting career, has been making headlines again amidst the UFC Pay disclosures and Jake Paul's relentless challenges. It all began when McGregor, in true McGregor fashion, made an appearance at a high-profile boxing match.
Good morning, Conor McGregor. I know you're probably beating up old dudes in a bar right now, or maybe you're jacking off because you're sick of your wife.
For any fighter to be the best they can be, they need consistent competition. So I'm eager for that.
Talking of legs, how's your leg doing? And when we're going to see you back, Conor? I know everyone asked the question.
While the world had been speculating about his future in fighting, the man himself decided to drop a bombshell. He hinted at a UFC return, and not just any return, but one in April 2024. The fans went absolutely wild. But wait, there's more. McGregor didn't just tease a return. He went on to state that he was fully healed and itching to get back into the octagon. The injury that had kept him out of the game seemed to be a thing of the past, and the fighting world couldn't be happier. And with a McGregor comeback, the speculation began. Who would be his next opponent? Could it be a potential clash with Michael Chandler, another fierce fighter in the UFC? The thought of these two titans going head-to-head was enough to send fans into a frenzy.
My team sent you a $50 million offer this morning. $50 million cash, proof of funds.
And be the greatest fighter in the world, and you chose the wrong path.
So folks, fasten your seatbelts because the McGregor comeback train is gaining steam. The UFC landscape is about to change once again, and we can only imagine the excitement and anticipation that'll follow. It's the stuff legends are made of, and we can't wait to see what happens next. Conor McGregor's return, a new chapter in the making. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.